Hello and welcome to Savor the Southwest. My name is Jacqueline Soul. I'm one of the writers for the website, and we were just out in the garden harvesting oregano, and I got this nice basket full of oregano, and we're going to dry this oregano. Now you can use oregano fresh, but this would be a lot to use fresh, so we're going to dry it. Now, I like to dry my herbs in terracotta saucers. This is some oregano I harvested last week. And as you can see, it dried. I had it one layer thick in this saucer. And as it dries, it shrinks down. You know, all the water's being pulled out. Now, the reasoning behind terracotta saucers is that they are unglazed clay. And they help wick the moisture out of the plant materials and help it dry quicker. Now our air, which in our house is 28% humidity, kind of does the rest. And you do want to dry all herbs out of sunlight. People say, oh yeah, just hang them up in the sunlight. Yes, sunlight maybe in like Poland or northern Germany, but sunlight in Arizona is not good for drying herbs. The reason being that the photons are very, very strong, and there's some chemicals in here that could be impacted by those high energy photons striking them and can actually turn the oils in the plant to something that is not safe for human consumption. And this is true for especially any herbs in the sunflower family. So if you happen to grow St. John's wort or stevia or any of those, be sure to dry them in the shade inside your house. I actually am going to put this out in the laundry room. So, hanging it on the cup hook for now. So easy way to dry this. Terracotta saucer, take my plant, hold it in the thin end and pull downward. And there it is, right into the saucer. And I'll show you what happens if you try to pull the other way. If you hold it from the other end, nothing comes off. Well, except for the tip, right? So you really pull against the growth direction. And there you have it. You're going to easily and quickly fill up this saucer. I do want to say, I got a reader question. How come I can't just use a plate? Instead of a terracotta saucer, they cost money. Actually, I found this for 49 cents in a thrift store, but you can wash these in the dishwasher, not a problem. This metal plate, I love them. They're nice for taking outside and eating your meal, because if somebody drops them on the cement, they're not going to break. But the metal doesn't wick away moisture. You could use it. You could use metal. Heck, you could use glass plates. Our plates happen to be glass, and I don't know if you can see. This is just a gorgeous piece of blown glass with an octopus on it, done by our friends Chet and View Cole of Country Glass in Vermont. Chet, God rest his soul, was a very creative person. Anyway, so yeah, you could use glass, you could use metal, you can use regular, plates, but the terracotta does do a better job of drying. It dries very quick. Or you can hang your herbs. Now I do want to do just a little bit on hanging herbs. I'm a knitter, so I always have yarn. And you can just grab some yarn. But the thing is, you still have to take some of the leaves off, or you have to be very careful about where you tie your yarn. Because if you tie your yarn over the leaves, as the leaves dry and shrink, then your herbs are just going to fall out of the yarn. So if you want to dry them hanging, it's fine. I'm going to just pull a few here, pull the leaves off, then I've got the stems, and when I tie the yarn to the stems, it's going to hold better, even though the stems are going to shrink, so you might have to check in on them. I like to fold it over and make a loop. See? And then I stick my stems into the loop, pull it tight, wrap it around 2 or 3 times, loop it through itself. You don't actually have to tie a knot or do a bow tie or anything. You can, I guess, if you want. But there we go, nice and tight. And now I can hang my herbs to dry. You don't have to use yarn. You can use rubber bands. We used to get the paper delivered, lots of rubber bands. You can use these ties from vegetables that you buy in the supermarket. So there's lots of ways to dry your herbs. I'm just showing you the way I dry most of my herbs, and it's quick and it's easy, and you know, if you get bored, you could borrow a book from the library. There's an app for your telephone, which just boggles my mind, but you can listen to books on tape. Well, I guess they're on MP3, but you can listen to books read to you on your phone while you're doing all your household chores, and I really like that. The one thing I listened to Braiding Sweetgrass, read by the author. Now, mind you, I had to wait about 12 weeks to get that, but it was so worth it. Oh, it's just wonderful to hear this woman who wrote the book read the book to you, because she has inflections for some of her words. It's just wonderful. Anyway, Savor the Southwest, harvesting your herbs. Thanks for watching.